He's doing it. He's going to a level far beyond what we thought was possible. Randy Pitchford is goober maxing right now. He's the CEO of Gearbox, the studio behind Borderlands, and his take on Borderlands 4 potential prices leaving a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Someone said, Randy, this game better not be $80, don't take that risk. Randy responded by saying, A, not my call, B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen. Pismo? More like piss mode. Randy's going freaky style on this guy right now for no reason. He's like telling an old war story here, starting to sound like Lou Pickles from Rugrats. I had to walk 15 miles uphill in the snow with only $80 in my fist so I could play Starflight on the Sega fucking Genesis. Who are you? If you were a real fan of Borderlands, you wouldn't be poor in the first place. If you were a real fan of Borderlands, you would spend $80 on this game, no questions asked. Now, obviously, this has ruffled a lot of feathers. In classic Randy fashion, he is the worst thing for his games. They really need to keep this guy in cryo sleep. It is brutal anytime Randy gets the stage. Like a little bit of limelight here, he somehow finds a way to deflate everything about what he's talking about. Now, there's also a video clip that came out today where he once again mentions the price. Worth noting, it's not confirmed that Borderlands 4 is going to be $80, but even still, his attitude here about like, well, if it is, real fans would find a way to put that in their budget. Make room for Borderlands 4 in their life, that is, if they are a real fan and actually have money. Everyone knows Borderlands fans have to have money, otherwise you're not a real fan. So it should be a non-issue if we do decide to make it $80. Like, that's the way it's perceived with what he's saying here. It's just super douchey and it's really tone deaf because right now a lot of people are really upset with the pricing of these games going forward, with Nintendo and Microsoft announcing the $80 price tag, looking like it's going to be the norm.
Randy, I got a tough one for you here.
Oh, you got a spicy one for me?
I don't know the answer. I don't know.
Why is it always me that has to do the spicy ones? All right.
What will the game's price be? That's an interesting one. I don't know this.
Really, now? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know.
He says he doesn't know what the price will be. There's a lot of factors that go into it, and he starts to explain what it looks like from their perspective of everything that's going into it and how the budget is significantly higher, this and that. So as of right now, he can't give like a solid answer on exactly what the set price is going to be.
We've got a competitive marketplace where people want to, or the people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible, and they want to be careful about people that are price sensitive. So there's some folks that don't want to see prices go up, even the ones deciding what the prices are. There's other folks accepting the reality that game budgets are increasing and there's tariffs for the retail packaging, and like, it's getting gnarly out there, you guys. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget.
Basically just saying there's a lot more money that's going into developing this title and a lot more factors at play that make it difficult to say exactly what the price is going to be. There's some people internally that don't want to see the price go up, while others are accepting the reality that it might have to. So he doesn't have a straightforward answer at the moment for the price point, but he does say something very interesting about how Borderlands 4 budget is more than twice the budget for Borderlands 3. That's a bad thing. I don't understand. I've talked about this a lot now for years. These budgets are getting so bloated and so inflated. These games are set up for failure because it is so expensive to make them that the amount they would have to sell is completely unreasonable in a lot of cases. The budget for Borderlands 3 was over $100 million. I think it was like $140 million. If this is more than twice that budget, we're looking at a $300 million game, to develop. That's crazy. And this trend can't continue where the budget for every new game has to keep doubling. Eventually, something's gotta give. And in a lot of cases, that increased budget doesn't mean an increase in quality. Usually, I'm not even going to say usually, but sometimes it will often result in a worse game because then they get afraid with how much money's invested to take any risks, so instead they stick to the same formula that people are kind of tired of and fatigued with, like Ubisoft, for example. Those budgets are huge, but the games don't change that much. They're very similar to one another, which is why so many people over the years have gotten really tired of the Ubisoft formula, even though the budgets are increasing. So it's not like a higher budget guarantees a better game, and in some cases it sometimes just means a worse game, because they're now too afraid and too risk averse. So it is concerning to see or hear that this budget is already double Borderlands 3. I think that there's probably no world where this is a sub $80 title. Microsoft and Nintendo are already setting that pace. He does also make a mention like Microsoft and Nintendo are, kind of solidifying the $80 price tag, but we're not sure if we're going to follow that ourselves yet or if we're going to keep it at the same price we've been. We don't know. So it is not fully sure what the price point for Borderlands 4 will be. What is sure, though, is Randy Pitchford looked like a huge insufferable douchebag when he told people that real fans will make a way to buy it regardless, no matter what, come hell or high water. That immediately ruins a ton of hype, and this is a strategy that has a worse record than the 2017 Cleveland Browns. This is always a fucking miss whenever you have someone like Randy Pitchford coming out there and saying, well, if you're a real fan, you're going to buy it no matter what. In fact, you need to. Like, making that insinuation, it's just a horrible look. So, obviously people have been pretty upset with him, but I want to be clear, I've been making fun of this guy for years. But for a long time, actually. It seems like a lot of people don't remember that a while back he had left a USB stick of porn at the medieval times. So he brought a USB stick of porn to the medieval times and somehow it just got left behind, and then when it was recovered, there's like cam girl squirting porn on it, and then Randy went on a podcast to defend it, saying that like he downloaded this squirting porn because he knew it had to be a magic trick and he was studying how she was getting so much fluid out of her pussy.
Cam girl pornography. Have you ever watched? Do you know what cam girl pornography is?
Is that the interactive one?
And this one is just like I can't quite make sense of what the little thumbnail image is, so I'm looking into it, and it's a woman who is masturbating, and when she has some experience that appears as if she's having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. She has some kind of an explosive orgasm.
Hey, Jay.
This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician. And so I purchased one of her videos. I wanted to watch this.
You wanted to work out the method.
I wanted to work out the method, but it was late, so I copied over this memory stick.
Why? Why would anyone ever do that? Like, this whole story is already peculiar and weird, but that last little nugget is such a head scratcher. So you purchased one of this cam girl's videos where she's squirting at you, and you were so mystified by it that you believed that she wasn't even a porn star, she was a magician, and you wanted to figure out how she performed the trick. So you download it, and I guess you're putting it up on the big screen like the Jumbotron as you're hyper-analyzing it, but why would you ever copy it to a fucking memory stick and take it with you places? Like, where are you bringing it? Why do you need access to that on the go? You taking it to a forensic laboratory to get the experts on the case or something? Like, why would you ever even lug that around with you to a medieval times in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense, unless you had like scheduled a meeting with Merlin the Wizard at the fucking medieval times or something to get the Council of Wizards on the case here to figure out how she was erupting with squirt fluid, with squirt juice. Like, what in the fuck? I know this has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I couldn't miss this opportunity to drop this little tidbit of lore on your lap here with Randy Pitchford and the Philosopher's Nut. Like, it is so baffling. Anyway, though, yes, Randy Pitchford once again made a fool of himself with the whole Borderlands 4 price take that he gave there. That was a big blunder. And yeah, anyway, that's really about it. See ya.